You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, Studio McGyver, and you are listening to Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. If you're new to the show, I just want to tell you guys, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, if you're into video games, if you're into nerd culture, you've come to the right place. We talk about all of that here. Got a crazy show today, guys. If you're listening to this podcast, usually when I put it out, I want to apologize in advance. It's a little bit late today because I got a lot of shit going on around me and I had to find the perfect time like a fucking ninja to get this done. Hopefully this won't be a problem for the foreseeable future, but I always put my podcast out relatively early on Monday mornings. It's still coming out Monday, but it's just going to be a little bit later. So apologize in advance again. But guys, if you haven't heard, if you're into video games and you haven't heard this news, man, I mean, I don't know what else to say to you, but we're going to dive into it. And I'm talking about Last of Us 2. Yes, there's been a lot of shit going on around this game, guys. A lot of controversy, man. And I'm going to dive all the way in this motherfucker, man. Now, look, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything. I am going to try to stay as cool as possible on that because, I just don't want to spoil anything. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk about some of the things. There might be some baby spoilers, but nothing that will ruin the story for you guys. But I'm definitely going to dive into that and talk a little bit about that. Also, Streets of Rage 4, going to talk about that. I played it. I beat it. Me and my son, we ran through the game. Going to talk a little bit about that. Also, Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer came out not too long ago, guys. Finally, all the talk that's been going on around this game, that is, the trailer is out now. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. And then also anime watch, like what have I watched this week? I've got a couple anime that I finished this past week, guys. Going to talk about that. And then one I'm currently watching now. It's a classic to a lot of fans out there. So yeah, we're going to dive into that. Oh, one more thing. We're going to talk a little bit about this PlayStation 4 sale that's going on, guys. You got a few more days. It's called, I guess Big in Japan is the name of the sale, and it's up to 50% off all these titles. Some even more than that. I've seen 75%, 77% off of games. I think the highest I've seen is like 80%. So you definitely want to check this out, and we're going to dive right into the show now. So I'm going to start with, well, I'm going to leave Last of Us for last, no pun intended, but I want to talk about Streets of Rage real quick first, guys. Streets of Rage, yes, I've played the game. Me and my son have played the game. We beat the game. There's 12 levels to the game, and we had a fucking blast playing it. It was, we ran through it relatively quick. I mean, if I'm being honest, didn't unlock anybody but one character. Supposedly there's 17 characters in the game. I'm assuming the way you unlock them is getting certain grades. I don't know. I didn't check on it. It was just, we put it in, we played it. And how I played the game, I didn't buy it on PlayStation. I actually, it was free on Xbox Game Pass. So another advantage to that on the Xbox Game Pass, guys. If you don't have Xbox Game Pass, it's definitely worth having that, man. I mean, it's like $15 a month. You get all of these titles, you know what I mean, for free. And it's a perfect sidekick for me personally to the PlayStation 4 and, the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you Xbox guys are out there, hey, it's the perfect thing for you. I mean, there are a lot of dope titles on there. And in some games that release brand new, if they're licensed by Microsoft or whatever, I mean, you get those free. So instead of going out and paying that $59.99, hey, you don't have to worry about that. You got it. I think Streets of Rage 4 is $24.99. Mainly a downloadable game. and it's $24.99. Now you can get a physical copy if you want from Limited Run Games. If you are interested in that, definitely check out Limited Run Games. They do a lot of that for games that only come out, DLC wise, I guess, and they're a great company, so definitely check them out. But yeah, man, had a lot of fun with the game. I think we beat it in like, let's see, how long did it take us? We probably played it 2 days. So the first day, I think we made it to like stage 7. And then the second day we went ahead and beat it. And, the time we spent on it was probably about, I don't know, 3.5 or 4 hours, on the game. So it's not a very long game. There is some replay value to the game. You can, like I said, unlock other characters in the game, unlock different, there's different modes in the game you can also play. There's a versus mode. There's also an online co-op mode as well. Didn't have a chance to do that because I don't have any friends on Xbox. But another friend of mine was trying to see if we could do a share play on the PS4, and he never got back to me. But we'll address that at a later date. But yeah, man, is it a great game? Is it a classic among some of the other ones? Yes, I definitely recommend playing this. But like I said, you might have something to say about the price tag compared to how long it would take to beat the game. But like I said, the replay value is high. So I think that's where that would supplement, that issue for you. But yeah, man, had a great time with it. Now, moving on, guys, let's talk a little bit about this PlayStation 4 Big in Japan sale, guys. If you are a PS4 owner, and you are looking for some great sales on some great fucking titles, this is where you fucking want to be. Me personally, this is the reason why I bought a PS4 in the first place. This is why I love Sony in the first place, because of their Japanese games, man. A lot of these niche cult classics, these games that you'd never see in the fucking West, for a lot of these, they have them here. And a lot of these JRPGs are here as well. I'm currently playing Tales of Berseria. I'm sorry, how do you pronounce this shit? Tales of Berseria. That's what I'm playing right now. I got it on the sale. I think I paid like 15 for it. But I'm going to run down some of these titles and some of these price tags, man, and you guys might want to check out. Now, you might, depending on how you are as a collector, like I said, a lot of my games, I prefer them physical, but some of these games, man, you just can't resist. You know what I mean? You just have to pick them up. So however you feel about that, you can make that decision, but depending on how the price is and how you feel about it, you might want to make that plunge. But yeah, I currently bought Tales of Berseria. I also bought Fire Pro Wrestling World. If you don't know about that series, man, definitely check out Fire Pro. They have a dope series. And it's a lot of customization. I mean, that's probably the big seller for me. I mean, completely customizable for every fucking thing on this game. So many different moves. There's so many awesome things about this game that you can do. And it's a cult classic. A lot of people fuck with this game. There's an online mode on there as well. And yeah, man, it's a great game. So I got that. I also got a game called Nitro Blasters, man. And for fighting fans out there, you probably haven't heard of this game. I didn't even hear about this game until recently, but it was there. It was like $8, and it's basically a 2D fighter with a bunch of anime chicks. You know what I'm saying? Cute anime chicks. And it was right in my alley. And one of the characters is Saber from fucking Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. So I could not resist that. You know what I mean? Saber is my girl, and she's awesome as hell in this game too. She's a fucking heavy hitter with that fucking blade. And yeah, man, among other characters. But yeah, got that. And look, there's so many great sales on here, guys. There's still a couple games I want to fucking pick up, but I'm going to run down some of these games and some of the prices for you guys. And I'm literally on here right now, and I'm looking at, let's start with Shinobi Striker. Shinobi Striker is $20 right now. It's a deluxe edition too, by the way, if you want to get into some Shinobi Striker. I actually, played a little bit of Shinobi Striker, and, I really enjoyed my time with it, man. It was a little repetitive, after a while, but if you're a Naruto fan like me, it definitely scratched that itch for me. So I don't know, man. It's really how you feel about the game. but it's there for you. Another one is Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. That's $17.49, guys. That's 75% off. The original Resident Evil game, $4.99. It's the remake that they had a while back. It's 75% off on that. I mean, so many. Tales of Vesperia and Definitive Edition on that. That is $20, $19.99. That's 60% off. I'm just going down the list here. There's some great classics here, guys. Potapon 2 remastered. If you don't know about Potapon, man, it was a dope ass series back on the PSP. I have those games on the PSP, man. Those are excellent fucking games. I didn't even know they did a remaster, but it's true. It's here, and that's like $7.50. Okay, dope ass shit here. What else here? We got Resident Evil 2. Well, that's an unlock pack. My bad. Dragon's Dogma. Now here's one for you guys. If you're looking for a great RPG. This is my favorite RPG Capcom has ever done. This is really one of my favorite RPGs, man. It's up there. It's in the top fucking 10 of my favorite RPGs. And it's Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Now this, I actually own the not definitive edition. I have the, I guess the up-to-date edition. I guess you can call it that, whatever you want to fucking call it. But I have it for the PS4 physical copy, man. This game is awesome. If you have not played Dragon's Dogma, if you don't know about Dragon's Dogma, check that fucking game out. That game is fucking awesome, man. The customization, the different builds, and just the combat system in this game is crazy good. So 67% off right now, guys. You can get it under $10, $9.89. Definitely Google fucking Dragon's Dogma and you'll understand what I'm talking about. God Eater 3. $23.99. Another great series, guys. Yakuza 0. Okay, 50% off. That's $9.99 right now. $20 isn't bad for that game. You're talking about Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. That is $14.79. That's under $15. Here's another great one, guys. Here's another fucking great one. Castlevania Requiem Symphony of the Night. Okay, you get 2 games in one for $8.99. You get the fucking classic, the greatest Castlevania game of all time, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. You get Symphony of the Night. You cannot fucking lose with that fucking game, guys. You have to have that game. The game is awesome. I'm just telling you right now, it's just a great game. What else we got here, man? We have Resident Evil Code Veronica X. That's $7.50. That's 50% off. Kingdom Hearts 3. $31.99. I mean, there's some games here, man. There's some dope games here. Let's see what else we got here. Coming down the line. Devil May Cry HD Collection, $22.49. Okay, 50% off. I see Dead or Alive here, man, for $20, but I think we all know how I feel about Dead or Alive, and we should stay far, far, far away from that fucking game, guys, because yeah, just trust me on that. Just trust me. Yeah. Anyway, moving on down the list, we got some other ones. We got Final Fantasy Dissidia, which is a great game. If you're into Final Fantasy characters, if you're into fighting games, it's like an 3D fighter. It's a deluxe edition as well. It's $22.49. A lot of people sleep on this title, man. I think a lot of people don't know about this game, but it exists and it is awesome. You should definitely check it out. Let's see what else we got down here. We got, okay. My Hero One's Justice, the original, the first game, $20. Now, me personally, some of these games on here, let me just keep it real. You can get cheaper, believe it or not, physical copy. You know what I mean? You can get cheaper now. Not every game on here is considered a sale of my eyes. And this is one of them. You could get My Heroes. I think you can get this for like $15, for, right now at GameStop. And even if it was $20, you get the physical copy as opposed to getting the digital. And like I said, I'm a physical guy, so I guess it is what it is. I also have some DLCs out here, man. That's dope. Here's another game. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise, man. It's basically an RPG fighter. Okay. An open world RPG fighter, guys. It's one that I definitely have to add to my list. Now, I personally would buy this here, but I want the physical copy of this game. I love anime games and, I try to get the physical whenever all possible for those. So yeah, I'm going to wait for that one to drop, and it's 50% off right now. So currently it's sitting at $40, but it is not $40 right now. At GameStop, you can get the physical for $30 right now, the last I checked, and it'll probably go down a little bit later. So I'll wait for that to hit $20 for physical, and then I'll buy it later. I probably can catch it on eBay, if I'm being honest, for a great price anyway. eBay is your friend, guys. I'll say it again. I've said it before. eBay is your friend. All right. Let's move down the list. Let's see what else. Oh, Castlevania Anniversary Collection, 55% off, $8.99, man. If you're an old school Castlevania fan, definitely check that out. The Dot Hack series. Now, that's another one that I've heard a lot of people talking about, man. That was, that is $12.99, man. You get fucking 3 games, I think, on there. Yeah. Dot Hack GU Last Recode. So you definitely want to check that out. That's 74% off. Yeah, that would be definitely worth it if you're a JRPG guy like myself. Okay. Okami HD, $9.99. That's 50% off. Okay. So many games, man. So many fucking games. Star Ocean First Departure. You get that one for $15. You get 30% off of that. Another game that I hear about and I've seen, which is kind of crazy, is a game called Earth Defense Force. Now, this is kind of like a highly, just an action game. It's all over the fucking place. You got aliens and shit coming down, attacking cities and shit. And you're basically one of the soldiers out here, trying to protect the city, man, with big guns, and you're flying around and shit. That's one that's piqued my interest, and I'm definitely going to check that one out. I'm curious about that game. Just to add to the collection, even if I don't get it here, right now it's 60% off for $23.99. Definitely check that one out, guys. If you're looking for something wonky, something crazy, something off of the chain, definitely. Now, if you're a Star Ocean fan, guys, this one you probably want to consider looking at. Star Ocean: The Last Hope, 4K and full HD remaster. That's 50% off. That's $10.49, guys, and it's a great game. It's probably one of the best Star Ocean games out there in the series. It looks beautiful to this day. You definitely might want to look into that and revisit that. A lot of people, are upset because you can't find a physical copy of this because this didn't come out for the PlayStation 4. It came out for the 3. So, but if you want your Star Ocean fix and there's no other way to get it, this is it right here, man. You can download this shit. So look out for that. King of Fighters, I'm a King of Fighters guy. Love the series. They've got King of Fighters all day on here. So many different games, man. The list goes on and on. I'm going down this list. The beat 'em up bundle, Capcom beat 'em up bundle, $9.99. That's 50% off. Goddamn Dragon Quest Heroes 2, $30. That's 50% off. You got so many dope games. Samurai Warriors 4, $19.99. That's 60% off. Sword Art Online, Hollow Fragment. I think that's DL. I want to say that's no, that's not. That's an actual game. I think it's one of the first ones that came out, but they only want $4 for it. If you want to get into, some Sword Art Online stuff, there's a great segue. You jump right in there. The Last Remnant, $9.99, guys. Jesus Christ. So many dope games. So many fucking dope games on this fucking list. The list goes on and motherfucking on. There's more than one Earth Defense Force game too. So, you could kind of go down the line and pick which one you want. Different prices, man. Like I said, Valkyrie, how do you pronounce this? Valkyria Valkyrie Chronicles 4. I think that's how you pronounce it, man. It's a great series. I have it on the PSP, and they have there's a bundle package here, and for $17.99, you can definitely sink your teeth into. There's some dope shit here, is what I'm saying. I'm going down the list. There's so many games I'm not naming right now. I'm just not going to name every last game, but you see what I'm saying though. There's a lot of dope shit. Fate Extella, The Umbrella Star. This game is $15. It's 50% off. If you're into like the Force, if you're into the Fate series, this is definitely a game you want. If you're into fighting games, this is one you might want to take a look at, guys. Me personally, I love the Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night anime. Some of the best shit ever made, guys. It's a cut above the rest as far as production, all of this stuff, and they make great fighting games too, and this is one of them. So check that out as well. Yeah, man. There's just so many. Shining Resonance, Refrain. That's a dope game right there. $11.99 for that. Okay. Crystar, $23.99. That's a JRPG. That's 60% off. So many great things. So many great games on this fucking list. Here's a crazy game. Akiba's Trip. Undead and Undressed. Now I'm naming this game, guys, because it's 70% off, but it's about a guy who runs around fucking beating the shit out of people who he thinks are zombies, and when he does it, pieces of their clothes fall the fuck off their bodies until they have no clothes on at all. And if they're human, they're just gonna run away in embarrassment. If they're not, they're gonna basically turn into zombies and they'll be exposed. It's a crazy, wonky, crazy game, man. I seen somebody playing this a while back, man. He was streaming the shit and I was like, yo, I have to fucking play this. I want to try this shit out. But yeah, I'm very curious about this game. And you, if you are, look that shit up. Okay. Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. Check that shit out. Moving on down the line, guys. Like I said, it's so many great things you could play on here. There's so many great games you could choose from on this list, and these are all, you know, Japanese games for the most part. Now, Stridar, if you guys aren't familiar with Stridar, man, it's a dope fucking side-scrolling action game. You can get that game right now for 80% off. I think you can get that shit for $2.99, man. If you guys don't remember fucking Stridar when it came out, it was an awesome fucking game. And it's here. It's available for you right now. Fucking $2.99. You can pick that shit up right now. Like I said, you have to the 7th to get these games. So definitely you'll take a look at this list and make some decisions, guys. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed. There's something here on this list that I guarantee you will fucking enjoy. I can 110% guarantee that shit. Okay. Guarantee. There's a lot of DLCs on here for sale you can get. There's a lot of actual games on here you can get. There's just a lot to absorb on this sale. So if I were you guys, I'd definitely make that move. You still have a few days. You can take your time. You still got some time to just, you know, scroll down a list and take a gander at it and see what you want to do. I'm going to stop there. I'm still scrolling down as I'm speaking to you guys now, checking out games, but it's just so many on this list, man. And this is the cool thing about PlayStation. They do this a lot, man. They have these sales, and I didn't even know about this. I had a friend tell me about it because the only sale I knew about was the spring sale that they had. And then, you know, I figured that was the only sale they were going to have, and it was almost over. I really didn't see anything I wanted to fuck with on there. And literally when I stopped looking, this sale came up and he mentioned it to me, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? And this is right up my alley. So just a lot of great titles on here, man. I hope they have another one of these sales, one day soon. That'd be awesome. Maybe in the next month or two. And, you know, I can pick up some more games, games that I don't mind, not having the physical copy to as much. That's the only thing, man. It's hard when you want to be a physical collector, you know, when you kind of want to start doing that, when you see shit that you just almost cannot resist. Like literally they had Control on here for like $24, man. And I almost lost that fight, but I said, no, I'm going to hold on. I need a physical copy of that. And I still haven't played it, and I want to play it so bad. So I'm going to, just wait and get the physical copy and deal with it then. But yeah, man, these are some of the games. I thought I'd just talk about some of them here. And like I said, you guys should definitely check it out. I love this sale. I love Sony. This is why I love PS4. And yeah, I thought I'd let you guys in on that. So if you haven't looked, if you hadn't checked it out, definitely, by all means, check this shit out. All right, guys, moving on to the next subject. And that next subject is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yes, this game has finally got a trailer out. Man, I wish we got some in-game, you know, footage. I'm sure that's coming soon. I know this game is slated for holiday season 2020. That's all we know as far as the release date is concerned. But I have to say, this is probably going to be a buy for me. And I say that because I fucking love Assassin's Creed Origins, and I fucking love even more Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not even done with Odyssey yet, guys. That game is so fucking big. It's so fucking huge. It's just a masterpiece in my opinion. It really is. It's one of the biggest games I've ever played, but it's no fluff. There's so many side quests. There's so many things you could do. So many builds you can make. It's a truly fleshed out RPG now. I mean, that is the direction that, you know, the Assassin's Creed series is going now. And I think this is the best decision that they've made when they, you know, starting out with Origins. I own both. I own Origins and I own Odyssey. Love them fucking so much, man. And I, you know, it would almost be a crime for me not to pick this one up. I mean, Vikings, you know, going to Europe, you know what I'm saying, stirring up shit. I mean, that's basically what you have right here. And apparently you're going to be able to, you know, lead a Viking war band in this game. You know what I mean? So basically you're going to supposedly have, you know, your own fucking band of soldiers or Vikings that you can just kind of, you know, you can invade people with. You know, I'll definitely be covering this. When more details arise, I'll definitely be talking about it, because yeah, this one is on my radar. Just when I think I had my games like covered, like what I wanted to play and get and everything like that, you get surprised and shit happens and there's another game on your radar. So there's probably 5 or 6 more games on the PlayStation 4 right now that I have my eyes on, like that I really, really want really bad. And most of those are not out yet. You know what I mean? So by the end of 2020, hopefully they'll all be released, or early 2021, because of this coronavirus shit. You know, a lot of the stuff has been pushed back a little bit. So yeah, there's some games out here that I definitely want to sink my teeth into, man. And hopefully a lot of them make it out here. Yeah. So anyway, that game though, if you haven't seen the trailer, definitely check that fucking trailer out. It's going to be a doozy, guys. If you know anything about the Assassin's Creed series as of late, which I'm talking about Odyssey or Origins, then you definitely want to play this. Yeah, it's going to be dope. So let's move on to the elephant in the fucking room. The elephant in the room, guys. Oh man, how do I even start? We're talking about Last of Us 2. All right. This game has so much going on right now, controversy wise, guys. I mean, there's been leaks. Apparently, you know, there's major leaks that people have put out to the internet. Pretty much the whole fucking game. All right, the whole fucking game. Yes, story, plot points, all of this shit is out here floating around. Now, Naughty Dog and Sony, okay, are basically going headhunting after people. They're going after motherfuckers left and right. So much to where if you're even just talking about The Last of Us, not even talking about any spoilers, not showing any images, anything like that. If you're just talking about the game, they're getting your YouTube fucking channel striked down. Okay. If you're on fucking Twitter, there's some people who they're getting they're getting hits on their Twitter account. You know what I mean? It's crazy. They're going after everybody, man. I just think they're handling it kind of wrong. Especially when you're talking about YouTube, because guys, if you don't know about YouTube and how they fucking work, man, they are very shitty, when it comes to, you know, keeping an eye on the ball with a lot of this type of shit. Okay. There's a lot of people getting their channels, you know, fucked up because for no fucking reason. And by the time they realize that they've made a boo-boo, it's too late for a lot of these people. And, or it just takes forever to remedy the situation. Okay. You get so many strikes, man, your channel's done. You're out of here. And unfair strikes because companies want to be dickheads about certain things. That's fucking wrong. And it's going on out here. And YouTube is so stupid and retarded and blind that they cannot see it when it comes. Okay. All you have to do is say, oh, he did this and he's wrong to YouTube without any evidence. And they'll say, okay, put a strike on him. And then you have to go through the process of saying, no, I didn't. Here's proof. And then that right there takes weeks, sometimes months to fucking remedy. Okay. So it's a fucked up system. They'll strike you in a hot second, but if you, to get to the truth of the matter, it takes fucking weeks, sometimes months. And yeah, it's ridiculous. And then by that time, some people have 2 or 3 strikes. And after the 3rd strike, you're done. So you're sitting here waiting for months and months and months to get your shit reinstated. And you've lost all this money, especially if you're a bigger YouTuber, and you get fucked basically. They pull out the warm butter and, they don't stop. Okay. They knock you out, and they literally, I mean, they pour all that fucking butter on your body. And they fucking do strange things to you in the dark. This is what I'm talking about. And I think Sony knows this, and they're using that, you know, unfair advantage to go after people because they just don't want the game talked about at all. So much so that they're putting out shit talking about, well, You know, we found the hacker. We know who they are. We can't talk about it any further because, you know, we're still doing investigating. I'm like, okay, well, if you know who it is, why are you still investigating? Number one, what they're doing is basically trying to get everybody's attention off of actually the game and what's going on in the game and get people to focus on that. That's what I think. That's what a number of people think. And, you know, they're scrambling right now. Okay. Their game has basically been released, and motherfuckers know what happens, and how it takes place and all of that. And they're upset. They're sick. And look, man, I understand that their game has been leaked and they're wounded right now. They're hurting right now, but you know, there's certain ways you handle things, and this is just not one of them. Okay. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, right now it's looking like everybody's got on this fucking bandwagon and they are going to try to sink this fucking battleship. There are certain plot points in the story that people are livid about. And like I said, I know what happened. I'm not going to discuss the shit, man. If you want to know, it's out there for you. Go to Twitter, go to fucking, you know, YouTube. There's some videos that are still out talking about this shit and haven't been pulled down. They can't go after everybody. It's just too many people. And you can find out about this game. You can find out what happened and all of that. You know, a lot of people are claiming that the game is just overly woke or whatnot. And, you know, it's the rainbow people, whatever you want to call them. They're heavily involved in this. And look, that doesn't bother me. And at first, you know, when I heard all this news, I told myself, you know what, man, I'm probably not going to buy this now. But I had to really sit down and think about what I was saying. And what I was saying didn't make sense to me as a gamer. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I've been spoiled before on games. Okay. And I still ended up buying the game. And even though, and there's a lot of shit going on with Naughty Dog, as far as, you know, what goes on in crunch time when games need to be released. And I've basically come to a realization that this shit is a fucking culture in the gaming world, in these video game streets. Okay. Anytime a big AAA company and sometimes even AA companies have certain deadlines that they have to reach, when it gets to that close to that time, these motherfuckers are going to have you working OT. They're going to have you working mad hours, 6-7 days a week to get this shit done. I mean, I guess I figured at one time that because their companies are great, you know, like Naughty Dog and, you know, Rockstar and all these companies, that they didn't have these issues. But no, everybody has these issues, man. The pressure is on and to get this stuff done and made. And it just is what it is, I guess. Some people hate it. Some people really hate it. And, you know, there's a high turnover rate on a lot of these companies, so much so that they put out some shit with Naughty Dog, and they were saying that, like, when you look at the credits after the game, when the credits start rolling, out of all those credits, if you take them and put them in a fucking glass, 70% of those are no longer with the company. Okay. And they haven't been, you know, through some of the production and the parts of the game. So that turnover rate is ridiculous. It's crazy. And that goes to show you what goes on behind closed doors with a lot of these companies. And so I just learned to accept that shit, man. I mean, that's just what it is until they can figure out a way to make that shit better. I mean, we're going to be hearing more about these disgruntled workers and all of these people that they hire for a long time. And let me just say that I apologize, guys, for the background noise on the podcast. A lot of shit's going on. I usually record in the dead of the night, and I'm recording, like, you know, closer to, you know, 7 o'clock. So, you know, you're going to hear a lot of things in the background, and I apologize for that. And, you know, sometimes circumstances just happen that way, and you have to get it done, but I'm getting it done, and this need to be talked about. And you guys are wanting a podcast this week. So here it is. Anyway, as far as, you know, Naughty Dog is concerned, though, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to buy this game, and I'm going to buy this game, even though I know, you know, big plot points in the story, and I'm aware of all this stuff. It fell into my fucking lap. I'm still going to buy the game because they worked on this game for years. This game has a lot of history. There's a lot of controversy about this game. That's partially why I want the game. It's basically a piece of history, you know, in the video game world, guys. This is going to be one talked about for, you know, years to come. Okay. And it's going to be split. There's going to be some people who love it and some people who don't. You know what I mean? There's certain people that, you know, in this game that, things happen to, and a lot of people weren't happy with that. And, you know, I have always been a fan of realization, in games, you know, basically no fucking happy endings all the time, realistic endings, you know, things that are, you know, meant to happen or should happen. And a lot of that happens in this game. I mean, this is a post-apocalyptic world where people die every day. You know what I mean? And it happens. And, you know, I appreciate that about the game. And I'm going to play the game because I know the production value is high. I know Naughty Dog, you know, is as much flack as they're getting right now. All this shit, they're still a great company as far as, you know, what they put out. And on the strength of The Last of Us 1, which is one of my all-time favorite games, I have to give this game a chance. I just have to. Until they prove me wrong, until I put a product in my hand and play it and say, yo, this is fucking trash, then, you know, I could for the next game say, well, no, I'm not doing it or whatever. But I have to listen to my gut on this and play this game and experience this game, even though a lot of people are, you know, shitting on it right now or whatever. And there's a lot of people who are talking mad shit about this game who are still going to buy this game. Okay. Don't let them fucking fool you. All right. They're going to be the same motherfuckers with their Twitter feed. You know, I hate Last of Us 2, and they're going to be playing the shit. I'm trying to come and approach this with an open mind, and that's how I'm going to do it. And I have to experience this for myself. You know, I can't rely on what people say on Twitter or what people are talking about, but the game is not even out yet. Okay. Yeah, there's story plots and all this stuff that's out there, but the actual gameplay, there's a lot of things in this game I know that I'm going to experience that aren't talked about and that aren't seen. So I just want to do that for myself. And that's why I decided to get the game and add it to the collection, man, because it's a piece of history, man. If anything else, if nothing else, this is a piece of history. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you guys, you know, I hope you guys do the same. And look, if you don't want to play it for whatever reason, I mean, I can also, you know, understand that as well. I really can. It's your prerogative not to play it, or it is your prerogative to play it. I mean, it's totally up to you. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of video games. You know what I mean? It's a flawed, you know, world out here in these video game streets, but do we still love it? Yes, because look, all those people talking shit about this game right now and shitting all over it. Why would they be doing that if they didn't give a fuck? You know what I mean? That's the point I'm trying to make here. People care about this stuff, man. This is a, you know, this is a huge thing to a lot of us, man. This is like, video games are a huge thing in my life. Like, it's a big part of my life. And that goes the same for a lot of you guys listening to this podcast, people, you know, friends you have, you know, all of that. It's the same thing with anime, all of this shit, you know, that we consume. This is my life. I love it. This is my hobby. This is my favorite, some of my favorite things to do. And, you know, there's going to be passion involved, man. There's going to be people who get upset and they're going to, you know, do this and do that. And rightfully so. Do that. Be mad if you have to. Be mad if you are. But also, you know, be not mad if you are, and do play the game if you want to, and not worry about, you know, what the next person says, you know? So I'll leave it at that. There's so many things I really want to say about this that I've heard, but I do not want to spoil the fucking game. Okay. Now, when the game comes out, I'll readdress this shit. We got about 7 weeks, and I'll readdress this, you know, thing. And, you know, I think probably after I beat the game, I'll play the game first. And then I'll readdress the situation and talk about it and have maybe a special about the game, you know, where I talk about nothing but The Last of Us 2. Okay. But I'll leave it there, man. That's about it. And I hope that you guys, if you want to play it, just try not to look at anything. And if you know, just have an open mind about approaching this game, and really about all games, you know. But like I said, nobody's going to eat your fucking lunch. Nobody's going to be mad if you choose not to play this game, you know, because of whatever you feel. I mean, it's just your prerogative. So that's all I can say about that. Now, last but not least, what I want to talk about is my anime watch list, guys. I've been watching anime, so much anime this past month, like, and only anime really. Like, if I'm finishing something, I'm just, man, I can't believe how much I've been watching. And it's a good thing though. I've been finding some excellent gems on an update from last week, I did find Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I got the Blu-ray. I got it for $20 and I got it on eBay. Okay. Love it. The guy was selling it for 25, talking down to 20. Boom, got him. The same fucking Blu-ray that they want $52 and some change for everywhere else for the most part. I got it for 20. Okay. So like I said, eBay is your friend and he's not going to hurt you. He's going to pat you on your head. He's going to tuck you in at night and give you warm milk before you go to sleep. That's how much he cares about you. You know what I'm saying? So, if you want some anime before you go, lose your mind over the prices and stuff, man, check out eBay. Take a, deep breath and take a step back and look at eBay first. Okay. And, there you have it. So yeah, I added that to the collection, guys. Had to. But what I've watched this past week, I've watched a couple anime and I'm on a third one right now. Now, the anime that I finished is one called Chrome Shelled Regios. That's a 24 episode, completely dubbed anime on Hulu. And it's about floating cities, man. Okay. There's this, think of like, a gigantic city. Think of like Dallas, Texas or some shit like that. And it's in a fucking, it's in a glass, crystal ball-esque type of thing, and underneath that is feet, and it can literally like walk around and shit. And there's all kinds of cities like this in this universe. And basically we live in a world where insects / aliens are killing people, eating them, attacking them, or whatever. And their objective is to try to remedy that and have defense forces for all of that. And it's really cool. It's about this guy who is one of the best, I guess, soldiers, if you will, out here in the land. He has one of the legendary swords, if you will. It's swords that not anybody can weld, and you have to be fucking wet to hold one of these fucking swords, man. And if you don't know what wet means, it's a term I created called it's spelled W-E-T-T, and it means amazing or highly skilled. Okay. I use it from time to time, guys, but yeah, this motherfucker was extremely wet. And, he got shit done out here in these anime streets. And he had a tainted past. So he was trying to avoid, fighting, to be honest. And he didn't want that life anymore. He reminds me of a character from Ronin Kenshin who basically, had a fucked up past and just didn't want that life anymore. So in order to try to, remedy that, stay away from that, he didn't use the sharp edge of his sword. He uses the blunt edge if he had to. Only if he had to. And there's some similarities in there with this character, man. And I really enjoyed it. The anime is wrapped up nicely, 24 episodes. So you can finish it and you don't have to worry about, a part 2 or anything like that you can't see. So I definitely recommend this one. I give it a 3. I'll give it 3 stars, 3 out of 5 stars, maybe even 3.5 out of it. It's definitely worth anything 3 and up, star wise is definitely worth watching all the way through. So it's definitely worth watching all the way through. I think a lot of people, will like it. It's definitely got a fan base out there. And it's something that I, wrapped up this week. So check it out, man. It's called Chrome Shelled Regios. And it's available right now on Hulu. That's where I saw it. So yeah, go get it. The next one that I saw, man, this was a doozy. This one was short and sweet. It was, I think, 12 episodes, maybe 13. I cannot remember. I get those confused sometimes, but it's really short. It's not that long. And I like these type of animes too. Animes that just kind of they pull you in for that season and they get everything wrapped up and done for you, and you feel complete. And this is one of those, man, I would definitely recommend. Another one on Hulu. It's called Erased. Now, this one is very popular, man. I posted on this one on my Instagram and people are still giving me hearts on this one. It's a great mystery / thriller of an anime. If you're looking for those, if you're into those, you definitely want to check this one out. It's about a boy who basically, actually starts off as a, young man. He's like 28, 29 years old. He's an animator and he's going through the motions of his life. He doesn't have many friends, if any at all. And he's trucking through life and he has these, I guess, premonitions, or he gets these sights that he sees, like where basically he's seeing the future. He's seeing something bad is about to happen and he can literally go back and correct them to a certain degree. And that's how the story starts. Something happens to his mother. She comes to visit him out of the blue, and she's staying with him for a few days. And he comes home one day, and he ends up finding her dead, okay, with a knife in her fucking back. And while he's trying to tend to her and figure out what the fuck is going on, his neighbor sees him. He has blood on his hands. She's, basically called the cops. They think it's him. He goes on the run. He panics and just takes off, and it went from sugar to shit so fucking quick. And all of a sudden, while he's trying to figure out what's going on, he blanks out and he wakes up, 1988, when he was a fucking child, when he was maybe he was 10 or 11 years old. All right. And he's at a school, and it starts from there. It gets crazy. Okay. Because a lot of things happened when he was a child that, led up to what is going on now. Without spoiling the shit, I don't want to spoil it, man. It's so fucking good though. It's very interesting, man. And there's a lot of twists and turns in this, and it doesn't make sense at first, but it does begin to make sense after you watch it. It's really popular though. A lot of people fuck with it, and a lot of people have been telling me about this one. And I just finally, it was in my list, and I was just going through the list, and I just said, oh, it's here. Let me go ahead and check this one out. So definitely check out Erased, guys, if you hadn't seen it. If you're wanting like a thriller, dope thriller / mystery of anime, you'll definitely like this one. And that's going to do it for the fucking show. But before I go, I'm watching a classic right now to a lot of people, and that's Kill la Kill. Okay, that's the one I'm currently in. I'm like halfway in it right now. Almost done with that one. And I don't know what I'm going to go with next. I really don't. I'm having a great time watching anime, guys. I hope everybody is, still staying in the house, trying to stay safe. There's a lot of shit changing going on. I mean, literally, GameStop and a movie trading company just opened back up, Saturday. So I actually had a chance to just peek my head in, and they're doing some cool things. They really are. Movie trading company, basically, you have to wear masks or you cannot enter. People are doing different things. GameStop literally there's 5 people in there at one time. If anything else, you have to wait until, somebody does the shopping and they're moving out. And actually, even inside the store, they've basically moved shit around. They've taken certain things out to create more room so that it's not clustered in there. So they don't want people kind of just standing side by side and all of that. So people are taking proper precautions, for the most part. And not everything is open, but there's a lot of things. But yeah, that's what I've witnessed. I was just noticing things that, I seem to notice when I'm just out in the street. And those are a couple of things, I'm a nerd. Look, I'm talking about GameStop and I'm talking about movie trading companies. So, you know what I mean? Those two things right there. But yeah, man, just stay safe, man. If you don't have to go out, don't do it. And continue to play video games and watch lots and lots of anime. If you want to reach me, if you want to get out and you want to maybe even have me talk about a certain said subject, maybe on the show, you can do that on social media. You can do that on my Twitter account at StudioMguyvR. You can do that on Instagram at StudioMguyvR79. And also check out the Facebook page at StudioMguyvR as well. And also, guys, check out the fucking YouTube channel, man. Studio MacGyver TV. We do all of these things. I play video games. I talk about subjects of matters like this. And, we just get into some gangster shit out here, man, in these YouTube streets. So definitely check out Studio MacGyver TV. Last but not least, if you're into merch, if you're into, t-shirts and hoodies and, cups and mugs and backpacks and shit like that, check out Beautiful Nerds, man. That's Beautiful Nerds, www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. They update shit every month. They add new things, yada, yada, yada. Check them out, guys. Perfect one-stop shop for your nerd culture needs. All right. Now, with that being said, I am finally going to get out of here, guys. Sorry once again for the late podcast, but I want to say I love all of you guys. I want to thank everybody for listening to the show. If you're new to the show, guys, please come back. We do this every fucking Monday. And with that being said, I'm out of here. This is Studio McGyver. And you have been listening to Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.